Dear students, welcome to Biogenesis. You have also requested my Facebook page that the series is going on respiration, and your request is fundamentals on Krebs cycle. So I am teaching you fundamentals of Krebs cycle. I also teach in the next videos the steps of Krebs cycle, the importance of Krebs cycle, and the energy calculation of Krebs cycle. But this video is only on the fundamentals of Krebs cycle. Okay, so we will know what is Krebs cycle. What do you mean by Krebs cycle? Remember, Krebs cycle is the chief metabolic cycle. It's the chief metabolic cycle inside body. Krebs cycle is the chief metabolic cycle inside the body. That means it provides at least 65% to 70% of total energy of body. In a living cell, from Krebs cycle only 65 to 70% of energy is produced. Okay, so this is a metabolic cycle. So what is Krebs cycle? Krebs cycle is chief metabolic cycle. It produces 65 to 70% of energy. So why its name is a Krebs cycle? Because this metabolic cycle is discovered by Hans Krebs. Was discovered by Hans Krebs in 1937. For that, he got Nobel Prize in Physiology in 1953. In 1953. So what happens in Krebs cycle? In Krebs cycle, a acetyl coenzyme A. In Krebs cycle, again I am repeating. In Krebs cycle, the acetyl coenzyme A totally degraded into CO2 and H2O and produces 12 number of ATPs. In Krebs cycle, acetyl coenzyme A converts totally degraded into CO2 and H2O and produces 12 number of ATP. Who helps acetyl coenzyme A? Oxalloacetic acid. Remember, oxalloacetic acid. A 4-carbon substance is present. Where present, I will tell you. A 4-carbon substance is present which receives the acetyl coenzyme A, and again it produces what? Citric acid. Therefore also Krebs cycle is called as what? Citric acid cycle. Therefore Krebs cycle is called as citric acid cycle. Now the citric acid is a 6-carbon substances. It again converts into oxalloacetic acid in different steps, with different steps. Within these steps, what liberates? 2 number of CO2 molecule liberates. What liberates? 2 number of CO2 molecule liberates. Okay. Then we will go for where Krebs cycle occur. As you know, Krebs cycle, later it was discovered that in bacteria, the Krebs cycle or the chief metabolic cycle of organism is linear. Remember here, I am giving you the clue. Due to absence of keto-glutaric acid, dehydrogenase. In our next video, I will explain what is keto-glutaric acid dehydrogenase. Due to absence of this enzyme in bacteria, Krebs cycle is linear. But in other organisms who have mitochondria, the Krebs cycle is a cycle. Oxalloacetic acid again converts to oxalloacetic acid. This is how this happens. So where it occurs? Mostly in mitochondria. Where it occurs? Mostly in mitochondria. But in bacteria, it is inside the mesosomes, or in several bacteria, it is in special organelles. So this is all about the fundamentals of Krebs cycle, where Krebs cycle occurs. Inside mitochondria. What happens in Krebs cycle? The acetyl coenzyme A breaks down totally, that is reduced totally, and converts to CO2 and H2O and produces how much number of ATP? 12 number of ATP. This is the fundamental of Krebs cycle part 1. In part 2, we will describe from where the acetyl coenzyme A comes and the concept of food. food. From where the acetyl coenzyme comes and the concept of food I will teach in the next video. In this video, with this I'm ending this video. Like our channel, subscribe our channel. Thank you.